Still a very active scene out here at the Waco Creek Center just off of West Waco Drive. I'm going to step out of the way so you can have a better look of what's happening. As you can see, police are still out here talking with people, and crime tape ropes off the white car that got hit by bullets. Firefighters are expecting to be out here for at least another 3 hours. They say the wind is hampering them from taking care of some of these hot spots. Now take a look over here. Take a walk with me and I'll give you a look at the possible plans. Now this is what people are looking at and considering if they like the idea, like this poster over here. Especially during the holiday season, police say make sure you close your doors and lock them, and make sure all your valuables are in your trunk. These results that are coming in right now obviously were not expected by Abel Reyna and his supporters. Your competitor Barry Johnson is leading the race. How are you feeling about that? Do you think that the Twin Peaks cases have an effect on tonight's race? I have the perfect spot because I'm right in the middle of the stage. It's a beautiful night and hundreds of people are out here right now enjoying the first concert. Someone has to be willing to buy the product in order for recycling companies to accept it. And right now, that market isn't looking too good. The West Fire Department just opened its doors a few minutes ago. They are planning to serve dinner to around 100 people. And out of respect for the families, they asked us not to take our cameras inside. Administrators tell me a third grade teacher told her students if they couldn't be quiet to tape their mouths shut with Scotch tape. And some students actually did it. Neighbors tell me the family that lived at this house were the Hines. And this is what the house looks like right now. As you can see, there is still smoke and firefighters are out here trying to put it out. The family is shaken up. The grandmother saying she never expected something like this to happen in her own front yard.
I don't care if I had to be physical with her. I would have got physical with her.
Tuesday afternoon started out like any other day for Valencia Howard, who lives in this decked out Dallas Cowboys house on Morrow Avenue.
Every day they come out and play. And sometimes we have like 14, 15 grandkids at one time.
But Tuesday, someone else joined them, a woman who Howard says was acting strangely.
Were you scared yesterday?
That's 5-year-old Nori. Her mom was watching the children play outside when she says the woman picked up Nori and started running. Nori's mom ran after the woman, telling Nori to fight off her attacker, who eventually put her down. The other children ran inside, telling Howard what happened.
I said, no, she's not finna run. She's going to jail.
Howard got in her truck following the woman, asking questions.
She wouldn't answer any question. I asked her what was her name, and she told me her name.
Police identified the suspected kidnapper as 36-year-old LaTanya Kelsey.
I wasn't going to let her get away. I just wasn't going to let her get away because that's my granddaughter, and I love my grandkids, and I don't want nothing to happen to my grandkids or anything.
Howard saying the family got shaken up, but she knew she had to do everything possible to make sure this doesn't happen again.
I don't take life for granted. I take everything seriously.
Officers say Kelsey has a history of mental issues, but when it comes to the family, they say they did the right thing. First, because they had an adult watching the children as they played outside, and second, because they called police right away. Live at the Waco Police Department, Sarah Macias, Fox 44 News. The jury is expected to be back here at 9 in the morning to hear closing statements and get their instructions. Today, Jacob Carrizal had his last chance to prove to the jury that he is not a criminal. Jacob Carrizal told the jury what the Banditos mean to him and why he would never change that.
There's a love there, you know, and there's a tightness there.
Carrizal's bond conditions say he can't communicate with gang members, including motorcycle clubs. But the state showed the jury more than one picture of Carrizal doing just that, something he didn't deny.
I feel normal. I feel that they're really the only ones that can understand what I've been through and what I'm continuing to go through.
The state also focused on Carrizal's Expect No Mercy patch, which officers previously testified is earned by committing a crime. The state suggested Carrizal got his patch after the Twin Peaks shootout. Carrizal says a brother gave it to him because of the trial.
Everything I'm sitting up here for, and he knows that I had a long road ahead of me, and yeah, that in my position I cannot expect mercy from the outside.
The state pointed out Karazal got his patch after the shootout, but before he was even indicted. Once the defense rested, the state called their rebuttal witness Keith Sefka. He is the man wearing a blue shirt seen outside of Don Carlos. The defense previously questioned officers if the man in a blue shirt worked for them and if scratching or tapping your head meant anything. The answer was always no.
Were you making any signals to anybody?
No.
Are you a member of a motorcycle gang?
No.
Are you a member of the Banditos?
No.
Member of the Cossacks?
No.
Do you have an affiliation with either of those groups?
No.
Keith, what were you doing at Don Carlos on May the 17th, 2015?
Making a reservation for 13 for a birthday party.
I was told the jury is expected to start deliberation tomorrow. No telling how long that will take, but the court did note that Friday is Veterans Day and the courthouse will be closed. Live at the McLennan County Courthouse, Smacias, Fox 44 News. Well, more than 100 people filled this entire area less than an hour ago. Senator Ted Cruz talked about a variety of things revolving it back to events like Hurricane Harvey and the Sutherland shooting. Cruz says it's important to preserve our constitutional rights, including owning a gun. He says it's important that we keep our Second Amendment, but still keep criminals away from guns. Cruz says it's a gun owner who shot the Sutherland church shooter and possibly saved more people from dying. And coming up tonight on Fox 44, Senator Ted Cruz talks about immigration and securing our borders. And tomorrow, Beto O'Rourke is in Waco, and Fox 44 will be there too. Live in McGregor, Smacias, Fox 44 News. O'Rourke says he wants Democrats to work with Republicans to give dreamers a pathway to citizenship in our country, but he agrees on that same note that we need to keep criminals and drugs out. O'Rourke says the wrong thing to do is build a wall. The U.S. representative says he's worked on a border legislation with Republican Senator John Cornyn on a bill that will beef up resources at the border, tracking who and what is coming in. He says this will also add jobs in our state.
Staffing up, investing in those ports of entry is a smart way to make our border more secure while making sure that we can keep dreamers here and allow them to contribute to their full potential as U.S. citizens.
When we spoke to Senator Ted Cruz yesterday on immigration, he says he will work to get rid of sanctuary cities.